So once again, welcome everybody to this information session about the Bachelor programs Actuarial Science and Econometrics and Data Science at the University of Amsterdam. My name is Umut Can. I am the Program Director for the Bachelor's Program in Actuarial Science. And we also have Dr. Morris Koster here. He's the Program Director for Bachelor's Program in Econometrics and Data Science. The program for today is simple. I will give a brief presentation about, the two programs. Basically, I will give a quick overview of what the two programs are about. Then I will give the floor to two of our current students, one student from Econometrics and one student from Actuarial Science. They will tell you a little bit about the student experience here at University of Amsterdam for these two programs. And we also have the chairman of our student association, VSAE, joining, and she will tell a bit about the student association and the kind of events that they organize. And then we will take questions from you, and hopefully it should be a nice, fun and informative session. Let's get started. So, a quick overview of the programs. What are these two programs about? They are about, well, let's start with Actuarial Science. It's all about applying mathematical and statistical methods to basically assess or manage risks. And when I say risks, think of financial risks like in insurance, in financial investments, in pensions and related fields. So, you know, the insurance industry is all about taking risks from other people. So whenever there are risks involved with significant financial consequences, you can think of actuarial scientists there calculating the odds, so to speak. Econometrics is also about applying mathematical and statistical methods, but it has a broader focus, and it tries to basically understand or predict all sorts of economic relations and dynamics. A simple example would be if you wonder, if you try to predict somebody's salary based on this person's education level or this person's age, gender, or place of birth. So you have all this information, and you try to tie all this information to the person's salary. That's where econometric techniques come in. You can also think of trying to link things like interest rates and unemployment and economic growth. All these things are related. How exactly they relate to each other, you use econometrics to find out. So just a very quick summary of what these fields are all about. So the typical work areas for our graduates would be financial institutions like banks or insurance companies or pension funds or investment funds. But also a lot of our graduates go to consultancies. They go to all sorts of industry. They go to government agencies or ministries. And they also work in startups, or sometimes they even start their own startups. So there is a quite broad range of possibilities in terms of employment after our graduates finish the program here. So the bachelor's program at UvA, what are some characteristics? Well, one nice thing about our programs is that they have the first 2 years in common. So both programs, Actuarial Science on one hand and Econometrics and Data Science on the other hand, they have the first 2 years essentially in common. So you take the exact same courses for the first 2 years. And only in the third year do you split and you specialize into Actuarial Science or Econometrics and Data Science. And in fact, until the end of your second year, you are still free to switch programs. So if you start as an econometrics student, you can switch to Actuarial Science or vice versa until the end of your second year. These are both highly quantitative and challenging programs. There's a lot of math and statistics involved, so they are not easy programs, but of course the payoff is great in the end. Not only the payoff in terms of finding a good job and good salary and so on, but also payoff in terms of intellectual growth, I would say. So these are difficult, challenging programs, but they come with a lot of satisfaction as well. And this last bullet point, hopefully we will not need it anymore, but if the COVID situation once again hits us with new lockdowns and so on, then we are fully prepared to switch to online teaching and continue our education in an online environment. Okay, so that's a quick overview. Here is an example of some of the things you can do after you finish the program. So this is what you see here is an article from the Dutch newspaper De Volkskrant from 2020, I think. And this is about a startup, a medical startup, or rather a data science startup that helps hospitals and healthcare institutions improve their operations by using techniques from data science. And some of our graduates are actually involved in this startup. And so this is just an example of where you might end up working. So don't think just because you study econometrics or actuarial science, don't think that you will definitely end up working somewhere in the finance industry, in a bank or an insurance company. You might also end up working at some kind of a startup doing very innovative stuff like here. Here is another example. This is also an article from the Volkskrant. And this is an article about the NS, the Dutch railway company. And this is from 2018, I think. So at that time, the railway company was hiring people to go through their data sets to improve their operations, essentially, and to minimize late trains or canceled trains. And some of our graduates are also involved or were also involved in this project as well. So once again, all of this is to emphasize that you have a broad spectrum of choices with a degree in either econometrics or actuarial science. Wherever there's data, a lot of data, and you can apply some kind of analytical or statistical or mathematical methods to make sense of this data, to predict things or to understand things, that's where you come in, essentially. That's where actuarial science and econometrics students come in. Okay, so focusing on the program at UvA. So as I said, you start with a joint first year. Joint means both actuarial science and econometrics and data science students. They all follow the same courses in the first year and in the second year as well. So already at the end of the second year, you will start making some choices depending on how you want to proceed. And in the third year, you split completely into either actuarial science or econometrics and data science. And if you go with econometrics and data science, you also have to choose one of the two possible tracks, namely econometrics or data science. So both bachelor's programs take 3 years in total. And once you finish your bachelor's program, typically, well, a lot of our students continue on to a master's program as well. And the natural choice for the actuarial science students, if they decide to do a master's at the University of Amsterdam, would be the master's program in actuarial science and mathematical finance. And for the econometrics students, the natural choice would be the master's program in econometrics. But of course, these are not the only choices for masters. At the University of Amsterdam, there are several master's programs for which you would easily qualify with a degree in either actuarial science or econometrics and data science. And here you see some of the master's programs that you would either automatically or easily qualify for. So either the master's program in actuarial science or econometrics or data science and business analytics or econometrics, economics and business, or also the master's program in stochastic and financial mathematics. So all of these are typical master's programs that our students go for. Okay. Sorry, this is too fast. Okay, this is what I want. So this is what your first year would look like if you start with the program, either actuarial science or econometrics. So at the University of Amsterdam, the academic year is divided into 2 semesters, as you can see, and each semester is divided into 3 blocks. Blocks 1 and 2 are 8 weeks, block 3 is 4 weeks, and then blocks 4 and 5 are 8 weeks again, block 6 is 4 weeks again. So 2 long blocks, 1 short block in each semester. And you can see in the first semester, we immediately start with mathematics 1 and probability and statistics 1. And parallel to those, you also start take your economics courses, macroeconomics and microeconomics. And in block 3, the short block, you take an introductory course in econometrics and actuarial science. The second semester, we continue with the mathematics and probability and statistics sequence. Now you take the second courses. You also take a finance course and your first programming course where we use the programming language R. And then in block 6, there is an introduction to data science. So as you can see, a lot of math, a lot of probability and statistics, a lot of economics as well. This is all what these programs are about. So if you counted, there were 10 courses there in the first year. Each of them count for 6 credits. So you take 60 credits in total in your first year. 18 of them in mathematics, 12 in probability and statistics, 18 in economics and finance, and 12 courses in orientation. And so this all adds up to 60 EC. And like most of the Dutch universities, we have a system of a binding study advice. What that means is that you need to successfully pass at least 48 of these 60 credits, which means at least 8 of the 10 courses in your first year you need to pass in order to be able to continue this program. In other words, if you fail more than 2 courses in your first year, then you will not be allowed to continue the program, and you will be asked to either choose another program at the University of Amsterdam, or perhaps you might try studying econometrics or actuarial science in another Dutch university. But you will not be allowed to continue with this program again if you fail more than 2 courses in your first year. And as I said, these are rather challenging programs. So typically every year we have a positive VSAE rate of about 60 to 70%. So only about 60 to 70% of all the students who start our programs continue to the second year, which means about 30 to 40% of the first year students actually fail to collect 48 credits in the first year. So this is not to scare you, but just to give you a heads up that you need to take the program seriously to really advance to the second year. If you pass the first year, this is what the second year will look like. This is still a joint year, so both actuarial science and econometrics and data science students will be taking these courses. First semester continues on with the math sequence, math 3 and math 4. But you also start getting some more specialized courses. So this life insurance mathematics is specifically an actuarial course, teaches you about basics of life insurance mathematics. And then you continue with probability and statistics 3, and then there is a course in statistical learning, which we can also call machine learning. In the second semester, you take econometrics 1 and 2. So these are again specialized courses more geared toward econometrics. And then you have mathematical economics. And then in block 5, the actuarial science students will take risk theory. The econometrics students will have a choice between risk theory or mathematical and empirical finance. So those econometrics students who might be interested in a career in actuarial science, and possibly a master's in actuarial science, they will be recommended to take risk theory. All the other econometrics and data science students will take mathematical and empirical finance. And in block 6, there is a course of empirical project where, again, you will choose to focus either on actuarial science or econometrics or data science. So already, even if you choose for the econometrics and data science option, you will be asked to choose between econometrics and data science for this course. Right, so this course is all about applying all the theory that you have learned to an empirical data set. And you will choose between actuarial science or econometrics or data science. That is the second year. In year 3, as I said, the split happens. So you either go for econometrics and data science, or you go for actuarial science. If you go for econometrics and data science, you need to choose one of the tracks, either econometrics or data science. If you go with the econometrics track, this is what your third year will look like. The first semester will be pretty flexible. So the two courses that you see here in the first semester, they are not mandatory. They are just there as suggested electives. Essentially, you are free to take whatever elective courses that you want in this first semester. So if you're interested in whatever psychology, sociology, Russian literature, whatever it is, you can take courses in those subjects in this first semester just to broaden your academic horizons, so to speak. You can choose your electives in a clever way so that they add up into a minor. So you can do a minor in a particular field, like mathematics maybe, or computer science or something like that. So then you have, in addition to your degree in econometrics, you would also have a minor in whatever field you choose. So that's also an option. You can also choose to study abroad in this first semester of your third year. So you can spend this semester in another university in another part of the world. The University of Amsterdam has agreements with dozens of universities all over the world. So you can go somewhere else to take courses in another university. And you also have an option to do an internship for credit in your first semester here. So the University of Amsterdam offers an internship program which allows you to do an internship for 12 credits. So it counts as 2 courses, essentially. If you do an internship, you still need to take electives on top of that to collect 30 credits within this first semester. So this first semester is quite flexible. And of course, if you do get into the program, before you start your third year, there will be information sessions of all sorts that will help you to make choices and to structure this first semester properly. The second semester is again mandatory courses, so the electives should be done by then. In the second semester, if you go with the econometrics track, these are the courses that you will take: time series analysis, mathematical economics 2, and microeconometrics. And after that, you take your bachelor thesis seminar, during which you will be writing your bachelor's thesis, and that will take you to the end of your program. This is what the econometrics track looks like. If you choose the data science track within the econometrics and data science specialization, your first semester is once again completely flexible. The 3 courses that you see here in the first semester are again just recommended electives. They are not mandatory. You are again free to choose whatever electives that you want in this first semester, and you can also do a minor or study abroad or an internship. So this is all the same as the previous slide. The second semester now looks different. Obviously, now you have more focus on data science. Time series analysis, this is shared with the econometrics track, but the other courses, the text mining and data retrieval and reinforcement learning, these are specific to the data science track. And once again, you write your thesis during blocks 5 and 6 to finish the program. And finally, if you go for actuarial science in your year 3, the first semester looks essentially the same because it's flexible. Once again, there are some suggested electives that you can see here, but you are free to choose whatever courses that you like in the first semester. And you have the options to study abroad or do an internship as well. In the second semester, there are courses that are very much actuarial science oriented. stochastic models in life insurance, financial accounting in life insurance, and mathematical and empirical finance. And just like in econometrics, you also write, of course, a bachelor's thesis. So this is what the third year looks like for actuarial science students. So in a nutshell, why would UvA be a good choice to study econometrics or actuarial science? Well, for this audience, perhaps an important advantage is that we offer a program which is completely in English, and more than half of our students at this point are international students. So we have quite an international atmosphere in all the classes that you take. Many of the faculty members are also international. We are the only university in the Netherlands that offers a bachelor's program in actuarial science. So if you want to study actuarial science as a bachelor's program in the Netherlands, University of Amsterdam is your only choice, essentially. We offer a combination with data science. Well, you can directly study data science within the econometrics specialization. But yeah, data science is taking more and more space in our curriculum because it's an important field and growing field. As I said, the moment of choice about the program comes after 2 joint years, so you can still change your mind whether you want to do actuarial science or econometrics or data science. So you have some time to think about it, because the first 2 years will be joint. We have a small and very active student union called the VSAE, and the chairman of the student union is here with us, and she will tell you in a little bit about all the different things that the student union does. You have excellent career prospects, of course, after finishing these programs. So on the right, you see the top 5 best entry-level jobs according to Het Financiële Dagblad, which is a Dutch newspaper, which is, I guess, the Dutch equivalent of Financial Times, you could say. And a few years ago, they ranked all the entry-level jobs, and the top 5 are these. And as you can see, an actuary and tax advisor and maybe even an ICT consultant are very much within the realm of possibilities for our graduates. Biochemical technologist and dentist, not so much probably, but the other 3 are very much, they will be within your reach after you finish our programs. We have an enthusiastic staff, and we offer a lot of study support, especially during your first year, but also throughout your studies. We have study advisors to help you with all kinds of choices, or if you have trouble passing your courses, if you have personal circumstances that lead to study delays, we have all sorts of staff to help you through all kinds of unexpected situations. And finally, of course, we are located in Amsterdam, which is an advantage by itself, I would say. It's a lively international city and a very nice place to spend 3 years of your life. The entry requirements, obviously the requirements changes from depending on which country you are applying from. There are details on our website, but essentially the 3 important requirements that we have is that you have a high school diploma, which is equivalent to the Dutch VWO, which is let's say the highest level of a Dutch high school diploma. We do expect some mathematics proficiency, and we expect some English proficiency as well. So you will be asked to document your mathematics and English proficiency when you apply. And as long as you are at the right level with these things, then you are admitted to the program. And if you're admitted to the program, there will be a 1-week online course that will help you assess whether the program is a good fit for you. So during this 1-week online course, you will listen to some lectures with content that are similar to what you would see in your first year. And then you will do a test in the end. The results of this test are not binding, and they will not appear on your transcript or anything. It's just for you to see if the program is a good match for you or not. So if you do really poorly in this test, then you might still have some time to maybe switch to another program. But even if you do very badly in this test, you are still allowed to continue with this program. So the application deadlines, so if you are applying from outside of the EU, the deadline would be 1st of April for you. If you are applying from the EU or from the Netherlands itself, then the deadline is 1st of May. There are some exceptions. So if you intend to apply for financial help or for housing help and things like that, then these deadlines might change. So you should see our website for the exact deadlines. And there's also a note on this slide. So the program Econometrics and Data Science is currently still called just Econometrics. So I think when you officially register for the program, it will appear as Econometrics, but from the 1st of September 2023 onwards, it will officially rename to Econometrics and Data Science. And yes, there is an admissions webinar next week on Tuesday. So if you have any kinds of questions regarding admissions, visa requirements, or what kind of requirements you need to satisfy in order to be admitted, specific questions that are specific to your own situation, then this would be the webinar to go to and ask your admissions related questions. So this is next Tuesday on 22nd November at 4 o'clock. And I think you have already received invitations for this in your email as well. And yes, now I think it is time for me to leave the floor to some of our current students. So as I said, we have two students here, Lara and Fadzai. And Lara is a current student in Econometrics, and Fadzai is a current student in Actuarial Science. And maybe they can say a few words about their own experiences at UvA, why they chose this program, what's nice about this program, and so on. So I will give the floor to Lara from Econometrics.
Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Lara. I'm currently in my third year of the Bachelor Econometrics and Data Science. So I would like to give a short story about my experience as studying this study at the University of Amsterdam. So first of all, I chose for the study because my teacher at high school advised me to pursue a career in the mathematical field since I was kind of talented in that. So I orientated in a lot of studies, varying from law to mathematics, but I kept on going back to econometrics since you combine three very important and interesting things for me. You combine mathematics with economics and programming. So that was really important to me because I didn't want to get bored within a study and doing the same subject over and over again. And I really like studying here because the teachers and everyone is very involved in the students' development in the study progress. So if you have a question, you can always ask Mr. Koster, for example, and he will ask within minutes. Everybody's like, the teachers are very involved with the students. So it was kind of hard adapting at first, going from a high school to a university, since you have a lot of freedom and you have to plan your time very wisely or else you will catch delay. But after a certain period, you get used to it. And yes, overall, I would say as a tip for future students who want to study econometrics, if you have the feeling that you really, I'm sorry for the noise in the background. If you have the feeling that you are talented in mathematics, I would choose to study econometrics, since mathematics is a very important factor. And yes, after my studies, I would like to do my master's in quantitative finance, and as a result, work as a quantitative researcher at a market making company like Optiver or IMC. So yes, I would now like to give the word to Batsai.
Thank you for the floor, Lara. Hi, everyone. My name is Fadzai. I'm from Zimbabwe, and I am a first-year actuarial science student. My path is a bit non-traditional. Non-traditional in the sense that I had some prior education in the degree back in Zimbabwe. So I was doing the same degree back home, and the opportunity to study at the UvA presented itself. And upon serious consideration, I decided that the UvA was a better fit for me and my professional ambitions. So then I decided that I would just get my degree from the UvA instead. So I will share my story and my experiences, and hopefully that will help you in your decision making. So why I chose actuarial science as a career to even begin with was my decision was motivated by three factors. The first being that I wanted to pursue a program that would give me a chance to be involved in the subjects that I not only loved, but was already good at in high school, which was math, statistics, and economics. So my advice would be, if you are like me and you enjoy math, you enjoy statistics and economics and a bit of programming, then this program could be a good fit for you, because these will be the bulk of the courses that you will do. So if you don't like it, you might not enjoy the program. And also I wanted to pursue a program that would be academically challenging for me. And the program is challenging, but it's not impossible. The challenging factor of the program would come in how the bachelor's is designed, because it's designed in a way where you have small periods of time where you get to learn the course material before you get examined on it. For example, for each course, for me right now, I'm in my first year, we have the first 3 weeks to get introduced to the initial part of the course material. And then after that, you write your midterms, and then 3 to 4 weeks to learn the rest of the course material. And then after that, you write your finals. So it's quite a rigorous process. And if you're not on track with all the course material that you're provided weekly, it's very easy to lag behind and have a tough time managing everything. My advice would be to stay on track with all the course material provided for you to study, attend all your lectures, your tutorials, and attempt all the questions that you have to do for the tutorials. And one question that most students have is whether it's easy to be pursuing this bachelor's and have a part-time job on the side. I wouldn't say it's hard per se, but as an international student, my advice would be to first get accustomed to the new environment and settle in, and get accustomed to the rigor of the program as well, because it's going to be very different from what you are doing in high school right now. And then if you see that you have time to pursue a part-time job in a way that won't affect your grades, I would advise then it's possible for you to do a part-time job. And the last reason why I chose to pursue this is, as I mentioned before, I had a bit of prior knowledge in the bachelor's because I studied it before, and I had a bit of work experience. So I had an idea of what it is that actuaries do. So I knew that I was interested in pensions and insurance and risk management, and the actuarial field gave me that. So if you also relate to this and have an interest in pensions, insurance, and risk management, I think the actuarial path would be a right fit for you. But as mentioned before, if you do pursue the actuarial science degree, and during it you figure out that this is not the right path for you, it's easy for you to switch then to the econometrics and data science route if you feel that is right for you. So there is that flexibility. So yeah, those are the reasons why I chose the program, and that's my story. So far I've had a pretty good experience with the UvA and with Amsterdam moving here. It's a beautiful city and it's great to live as an international student. There are a lot of international people here. There's no language barrier because everybody speaks English, and the UvA has a lot of resources that you can take advantage of as a student, so that when you graduate, you're better equipped for the workforce. There are a lot of student organizations like the VSAE, which I am also a part of, and I would advise you guys, if you do decide to study at the UvA, to be a part of it as well, because it will make your time here more fruitful. And with that, I would like to extend the mic to Julie from the VSAE. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatai and Lara. I'm Julie. I'm the chair of the VSAE, and 1 second, I will share my screen with you right now. Okay. So yes, let me go back. So the VSAE is the study association for students studying econometrics, actuarial science, and business analytics. So what we do is we organize a lot of social activities, but we also help you with your career. So we organize career-related events, and we also offer help with studying. And we also started recently focusing on mental health, because we think that's very important, especially with a study as challenging as econometrics or actuarial science. So what kind of social activities do we organize? We have monthly drinks with an open bar, so that's very nice. You get free drinks all night long. And this is a great way for you to socialize and get to know some people outside of the lecture halls, because sometimes it can be hard to socialize during a lecture when you're paying attention. So this way, in a more relaxed setting, you will get to know a lot of students. We also organize once a year our yearly skiing trip. You can see a picture over here, and yeah, that's a lot of fun. We go skiing a week long, and yeah, very fun. And we also have a lot of other trips during the year throughout Europe. So this year we went to Paris and also Prague. So a lot of time to also explore different cities within Europe with fellow students. And we also do other activities like sport activities here in Amsterdam. Then this is interesting for you guys if you want to start studying econometrics or actuarial science. We host introduction days every year, and during these introduction days, this is the first time that you will meet all the first year students. So we get together in a very small village somewhere in the Netherlands, and during 2 days we will do a lot of fun activities, and we'll get to know each other, socialize. It's a very fun time for you, and it really is a great start to the new school year. So registrations are not open yet. It's a little bit soon, but after, I think in May or June, registrations will open, and these introduction days will take place in the week before the study starts. So that's in September. Yeah, so I would really recommend you guys to go to these days if you are starting actuarial science or econometrics. And then mental health. So as already explained before, but econometrics and actuarial science can be really challenging at times, and sometimes the work pressure can be very high because, yeah, it's not easy. So that's why we started focusing on mental health as support, because we think it's very important that students feel supported and don't feel alone in this process of this whole change of maybe moving to a new city, new country. So that's also why we started a coffee committee. This is a coffee committee. This is a committee of 5 people where you can just send a text to if you want to do a coffee talk about life. Can be ranging from studying to more personal questions, but yeah, this way we hope to make us a little bit more accessible, and if you're feeling alone, you can always contact us. Then you can also become an active member as a first-year student. This is a great way for you to be a little bit more involved in association. So for first years, we have more fun committees. So later on, you can do more serious committees for more career-related events. But first, you will start off with a little bit more social activities. So we have the skiing trip committee, sports committee, showers committee. This is a nickname for first years in Dutch. So you will organize activities for the first year students, and we have a party committee and a ranking committee, which is kind of a borrel committee. So this is a great way for you to be more involved in association, get to know a close group of people very well, and yeah, you will also get a lot of other perks. Like here you can see a picture of our active members dinner, which takes place every year. So you'll get a free dinner, and yeah, that's also really nice. Then regarding studies, we offer discount on books as the VSAE. So this is a great perk. And we also have a whole online exam database, which helped me very much in my studies, because here you can find all the old exams, which helps you a lot when you're studying. And lastly, we also offer a discount on tutoring. So if you're struggling a little bit more with a course, you can also get help with tutoring, and we offer a discount on this. So that's also very nice. Then if you want to apply to the VSAE, so you can do this if you have officially registered for the Bachelor. Then you can register for the VSAE through our website. So if you have any questions, you can also already send an email to info@vsae.nl. And yeah, to stay up to date, you can follow us on Instagram. So you can see a little bit what kind of activities we have. And yeah, also for the registrations for the introduction camp, you can find the application deadline on there. So yeah, I think that's it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Julie, and thank you to Lara and Fadzai as well for sharing the student perspective. Let me go back to sharing my slides if I can. Okay. Let me see if there is, yeah, so what's next? You can explore our program online and also compare programs online if you're still undecided about which program to apply for. There are there's the Student for a Day program that you can sign up for. So this allows you to. So this only applies, of course, if you're already in the Netherlands or if you're planning to be in the Netherlands in the near future. You can come to the campus. You can be a student for a day. So you are assigned a student to hang out with all day long. You are with the students. You go to the students' classes and tutorials and so on. So you really get to experience the student life on campus, and you can ask all your questions about student life to a student. So that would be a nice thing to do if you're in the Netherlands or if you're planning to visit. There's also an experience day on the 14th of December, which is similar in the sense that it allows you to attend courses or tutorials and gives you an idea about what kind of courses you would take and what would be the experience like. And it also allows you to experience the campus itself. And once again, the application deadlines are either April 1st or May 1st, depending on where you're applying from. And we look forward to seeing you in September. And I think, yes, this is all I had to say. So we can, we still have about 12 minutes until the end of the session, so we can answer some questions. So I see that some questions have already been answered by my colleagues. And I think, yeah, Maurice wants to take the floor. So go ahead, Maurice.
Yeah, there were a couple of questions that popped up more often. And one is about the size of our studies. So I think actuarial science and econometrics together, we are starting off with about 270, 250 on a yearly basis. Could be sometimes a little bit less, other times a little bit more, but that's about the number of students. And there is also a couple of questions regarding what you should bring to the studies. Like, for instance, what you should know about computer science. If you, well, the question to that is that you will learn everything you need to know about programming. There's a course in the first year devoted to that, and it will be throughout the program. So in the second year, you will be more focused also on Python as a programming language. In the first year, it will be R. But it's a very good question. Like, yeah, we are doing econometrics and we are studying economic principles, but there's no need to have economics on high school because you will also learn everything about that during your studies. So that's, so here I see, how big is the intake ratio? Well, that's very hard to tell because that changes a lot over the years. So it depends on yeah, the level of the diplomas that people bring. So that's hard to tell. I think now if more students apply and are eligible for a course, then you are going to increase the number of seats in the course. Yes, we don't have a restriction on numbers of students. So if you just qualify, it will be enough, right? So we do not have what is called in Dutch a numerus fixus. So there's no limit to the number of students. So these are the main questions, I think.
Yeah, I see a question from Sarah. Can you study from home, or are there a lot of contact hours on school?
Yeah, in the first year, we have a mandatory presence at tutorials because we think it's really important that you study in this environment because then you see other people. Julie also said it about mental health. I think it's good for your mental health to be on campus and see a lot of people around because there's the social aspect of studying is really important. So, but on average, I think in the first year, it could be that you have like 18 contact hours per week. But in the second and the third year, there will be less. So this study is all about the mixture of going to class and prepare yourself at home, right? So there's a lot of independent studying going on. So these 18 hours in the first year that you spend on our location is not enough, right? So you should expect to study at least 30 to 40 hours in total. Some can do with less, some need more. So that's about the the expectancy. Let me see.
I see a question. Is there a committee for Indian students or a committee for women in mathematics? So I am not sure if there is a student association specifically for Indian students or female students. Informally, I'm sure Indian students meet each other and form groups, but I am not sure if there is a student association for either Indian or female students. I don't know if anybody knows, but so yeah, as far as I know, there's no student association for those.
Also, what I've seen a couple of times is what kind of maths is required. Well, the least you should have is a kind of background in differential calculus and integration techniques. So that's what is basically required. But if you have further questions about the level of your diploma, then please contact the admissions day, and that's on the 22nd of November. And there people can say more, because it's very hard to say out of the pocket what is your level of diploma compared to what is required by law here in the Netherlands. So please do have a visit to that seminar. But basically, it's a differential calculus and integration techniques. There's also a question on if this session is recorded and where to find it. Well, this is, I think the link will be sent to you through email. It will definitely be available. Are we at a disadvantage if we apply later, like December or January? No, because we don't have restriction on the number of students. We only look at your the level of your diploma. But for non-EU students, you should definitely be enrolled or by the 1st of April. So depending on where you are situated, if you're in the Netherlands, you can sign up by the 1st of May. Anna asked something about, I would like to know how many % of the program consists of theoretical knowledge. Well, you get a lot of theoretical knowledge about probability theory and statistics, because you simply need it to understand what the techniques are about. So basically, we work in the first 2 years, we work at a solid basis in mathematics and statistics. I think here at the University of Amsterdam, nobody gets as far as our students in probability theory and statistics. And in year 3, you're going to do way more applied stuff, right? So basically, your thesis might be theoretical, but most of the students make it a kind of practical exercise out of it. Right, Umut? Yeah,
I agree. There is a lot of theory. Of course, the boundary between what's theory and what's application is sometimes blurry. But yes, you need a lot of theoretical background in order to start applying stuff. So yes, there's a high percentage of mathematical and statistical theory that you need to learn first before turning to, say, more practical or empirical kinds of applications. Yeah.
Yeah, I still see some questions about the level of mathematics and some things related to visa, etc. But these are things really that you need to contact admissions office for, because they can provide you with the details, because it's different from EU, it's different from non-EU. So it's wise to have the best information, and the best information is at the admissions office. The Math B test, yeah, everything is well. We use our VWO-B mathematics, is a type of mathematics, as the basic level. So everything is compared to this Dutch diploma. And what the mathematics B test is about, it's about basic differential calculus, functions on R, and integration techniques. So that's the basic for the Mathematics B test. Also details are also provided by admissions office, because they set out also these tests. They organize these tests as well. And what kind of maths is required? Science or applied maths? Yeah, it's. I think the science part, that's what you learn here. I think that everything in high school can be kind of seen as a kind of applied maths. The thing is that when you get into this program, we are doing mathematics, but just on a little bit deeper level. So before to reach new levels of understanding, you first have to dig a little bit deeper, and then in the second year you get a more profound basis on other areas. So it's and then we're also going to do a little bit different type of mathematics, which is very important in our studies, and that's linear algebra. So most of the people didn't get it in high school, so that will be kind of new.
So is the study material to learn from for the exams mostly books or notes provided by the professors? I would say it's a mixture of both, but yeah. So there's definitely a textbook that goes with the course, but professors also provide their own lecture notes as well.
Well, here's an interesting question, or an important question maybe. What is the difference between the Dutch bachelors and the English bachelors? Well, actually, we give our Dutch students the possibility to follow the courses in the first semester in Dutch. And that's the only difference, because the material, everything, the exams are all the same. But if you understand Dutch, you're allowed to also take Dutch classes.
Yeah, it's already 4 o'clock, so maybe we can answer one last question and finish the session.
Are there other questions for our students? I would like to hear. There's no questions for our students. Oh, how much free time do you have? Well, that's an interesting for you.
Yeah, I would say if you plan your time wisely and you work on your school stuff 5 times a week, you would get some free time in the weekends. But if you would compare it to any other study, like law, for example, I would say you have less free time. As long as you plan your time wisely and really work on your schedule, go to the tutorials, and and make sure to catch on to homework. I don't think you have like no freedom at all, but it is definitely less compared to other studies, I would say.
And there's a related question as well about, are you students finding the time to work part-time?
It's hard. I would say, yeah, it's possible. There are definitely a lot of international students who do a part-time working at a pizzeria or something. So it's definitely possible, but it depends on how much time you spend on your study, I would say.
And sometimes you can combine it, right? So each year we are looking for TAs, so teaching assistants, and these are all students. So
yes, and most of the time, like combining being a TA and studying goes well for them. So I would say it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Maybe this is also for the students. Is financing your housing and living expenses hard?
Yeah, I would like to give the question to Patsai actually.
Well, it depends with where you're living. For me, I'm living in Diemen, so the rental prices are quite manageable. So it varies with where you're living. In certain areas, rental prices are higher. So just look at your budget, and different places offer different rental prices. Outside of Amsterdam, you will find cheaper housing, and then within Amsterdam, it's a bit more expensive because the housing is quite limited. Yeah.
Oh, but for your information, Diemen is quite close to Amsterdam, right?
Yes.
It's not very far outside.
It's not very far. I guess I got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of students who live in Zaandam actually because they can't afford to live in Amsterdam just yet. So the housing, it's definitely stressful, but it's not impossible, I would say. So, you know.
And there's excellent train connection in the Netherlands. So even if you live slightly outside of Amsterdam, you can still commute back and forth with the train pretty comfortably, I would say. And we're already 5 minutes over. So I think it's time to close this session. So I want to thank everybody for joining, both our prospective students and also the panelists. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us on social media or through the website. And once again, thank you for joining. And I will finish the session.
Okay, thank you.